Chop them into about 3/4 inch cubes. You don't want them too large, too small. If they're too small, they'll dissipate into your chowder and you'll lose them. And you want some potatoes at the end of your chowder. So that's what's going on right here now. So now, this is my mantra. You're gonna hear it all the time. Season, season, season. So we have our potatoes and our onions going here. We need to season. So we need, especially with potatoes, you need at least 2 big pinches of salt. And when it comes to pepper, I love black pepper. So I'm gonna add probably about 10 at least grinds of this black pepper. You don't have to do that much, but make sure you put in enough black pepper. It is an ingredient in juicy potatoes. You can't disregard it. So mix that in, and then next, your herbs. So you have 2 to 3 fresh or dried bay leaves, and then 6, 7, 8, 9, doesn't matter, just enough of fresh thyme. It has to be fresh. Throw it in. You don't need to pull the leaves off the stems. Just throw it in, more than fine. So you have that in there. Now, when it comes to the liquid, the last ingredient in juicy potatoes, I told you these are really different. The last ingredient is, I like to add stock because I like to add layers of flavor wherever I can. But as my grandparents did, stock in the box wasn't exactly available back then. They used water. They were still delicious. So you can use water if that's best. Start with a 1/2 cup. I'm not a measurer. You'll find that out if you don't know that already. Start with about a 1/2 cup. The only purpose for the liquid is to make sure that all the starch in the potatoes don't stick to the bottom of the pot. So just mix about a 1/2 cup in, stir it together, and have it on medium-low. These things handle themselves. They really do. So just stir it in. They'll take about 12 minutes. Halfway through, you might want to come back, give them a stir, make sure they're not sticking. If they are, throw a tiny bit more stock or water, whatever you're using in there. Now they're doing their deal. We can move on to the rest of the DNA, which is the veg. So the rest of the DNA veg is 1 small onion, 2 large or 3 small carrots, 2 large or 3 small stalks of celery, all medium diced. So I didn't want to bore you by sitting here and dicing all these vegetables. I only have 1 stalk of celery to dice. So I'll get this done. And then once we're done with this, we have almost, once the juicy potatoes are done, our complete DNA of this chowder ready. So we have this ready, our bacon's ready. Let's check these out. See these? They're starting to exude their starch. It's coming along well, but they're not quite there yet. You can see the starch hasn't come out yet. So it's gonna take probably, it looks like about another 6, 7 minutes. So while that's going, we're gonna take a little break. When we come back, the best part of this chowder, the obvious, pumpkin and corn. Okay, so our juicy potatoes have exuded out their starch and they've become their beautiful self. Starchy, beautiful potatoes that they are, the base to all chowders. Okay, when it comes to the herbs now, the thyme's done their job, so you can take the thyme sprigs out. The flavor's in there, and you don't want to run into one of these in your chowder, so you can take the thyme out. As far as the bay goes, I tend to leave the bay in because I think it keeps giving more and more flavor till the end of the dish. You can take it out if you'd like, whatever makes you happy, but I like to leave it in. Okay, now we're gonna move on to our veg. Let's add the veg. So we have our carrot, celery, and onion that we've already chopped, as you know. So we're gonna add the veg. Oh my goodness, oh my goodness. Look what I just did. I just made a mess. Oh boy, there's a good one for you. You can't, you can put the girl in the kitchen, but you can't make her friggin', she's messy. Look at the mess I'm making. Oh, it's all right. You're supposed to make a mess in the kitchen. Okay, so I'll just walk over those onions. Now that we added the carrot, celery, and onion, we need to put in, obviously, we add another layer, so we have to add some salt. So we add in some salt, and of course, black pepper. Again, as much as you would like. I like a lot. You put it as much as you'd like, okay? Stir it around, and then look how thick it's getting. It's getting so thick. Then we're going to add some more seasoning to make it even better. Now, before I add these seasonings, I want to thank you for your support. Your likes, shares, and comments make me very happy. So keep them coming, and I will continue to share creative recipes with you. Oh, and by the way, don't forget to hit the bell icon. Okay, let's get back to the seasoning. 1 teaspoon garlic. As I said, I don't measure. If you like to measure, that makes you more comfortable, get out your measuring spoons, no problem. 1 teaspoon granulated garlic. 1 teaspoon granulated onion. I pretty much put this stuff in everything. I think it just heightens the flavor better than just salt and pepper. Seasoning, seasoning, seasoning. Here I am again. I love heat, especially in this dish because our two main ingredients are both on the sweeter side naturally, pumpkin and corn. I think chili flake, red chili flake is kind of required. I will use about a half a teaspoon. Again, if you don't like it at all, don't add it. I suggest you add at least a pinch. It will do something. It won't be hot, but it will do something to the finished dish. And then sage. Unfortunately, my store didn't have fresh sage right now. So I always have powdered sage, dried sage. So I'm going to use that this time. What goes better with pumpkin and sage, right? So I'm gonna use about a half a teaspoon of the dried sage. If you can find fresh sage, 4 leaves, dice them up, put them in there. Perfect. We're gonna mix all this up. Look at how thick this is. Oh my gosh. Okay, juicy potatoes and all the veg and all that seasoning. So now, here we go. Pumpkins in the house. Okay, 15-ounce can of pumpkin. Now, make sure when you go to the grocery store and you're in a hurry, don't do what a lot of us have done in the past and buy pumpkin pie filling. Don't just look at pumpkin. Make sure you look at the ingredients and make sure it just says pumpkin so that you don't get home mad at yourself. Pumpkin pie filling would not work in this savory dish. So 15 ounces, 15-ounce can of pumpkin and 1.5 cups of frozen corn. It's not the time of year for fresh, unfortunately. Frozen is next best, to say the least. So let's try to mix all this together. This is getting party, to say the least. Look at this. Oh, here I go making a mess again. I told you, I'm an absolute mess in the kitchen. Don't want to have to clean up after me. Okay, now we have to add our bacon. Our bacon's been sitting here waiting on us. So the way I like to handle bacon, I think it's easiest, is to just stack it. You have all your half slices here, just literally stack it. And then it's so easy to just slice it straight down into bite-sized pieces. And then add it to your chowder. There we go, that's it. Right in. All we have left, literally, is our stock. So I use chicken stock. If you really want to make this into a vegetarian chowder, you would easily do that. Don't use the bacon and use vegetable stock. And this could be a vegetarian chowder. I'm using chicken stock and I like the bacon. So that's the route I'm going. So 2 quarts chicken stock. It's getting to the point where you may not be able to fit them in the pot. And as much as you can. And remember, this is going to continue to cook down. It might look soupy to you right now, but remember that this is going to cook down for 40 to 45 minutes with your lid ajar. Oh my gosh, I mean, seriously, you almost want to eat it right now. It's not even close to done. Anyway, 40 to 45 minutes, medium low heat. You want to simmer. Don't boil it, just simmer it. And then you put your lid ajar, and best thing to do is to put a towel on your lid in case when you come back to check on it in 40 minutes and you forget, you might scold yourself. I've done it before. Don't do that. Okay, after 40 to 45 minutes, all you have to do is come back and check out the rest. We're going to add heavy cream, half and half, and then we're going to get to what everybody is looking forward to, especially me, plating and tasting of this delicious pumpkin corn chowder. So our chowder has beautifully reduced. It is thickened. Look at how much this has reduced. You can see it in the pot. It's absolutely luxurious. So now all we have to do is add your half and half for heavy cream. I always use half and half to make it as creamy as you want. I say 3/4 to maybe, actually I start with half, but 3/4 is good enough. Seriously, make it as creamy as you want with your half and half and every. Half cup to a cup is more than fine. And then see how extra creamy it gets. It really doesn't need as much as you think. But like I said, make it as creamy as you want. This is your chowder. You do what you want. Okay. And make sure when you do add, I'm sorry, I forgot to mention, make sure when you do add your half and half or heavy cream, your dairy, make sure you turn the flame completely off. You don't want any bubbles or it can curdle on you. You don't want that. Okay, so I think it's about time to put this in a bowl and give it a taste. So let's get rid of that and let's get the bowl. Look at this. Absolutely luxurious. Pumpkin, juicy potatoes, bacon, and that corn. Read about it. All right, well, it's about time to taste this. You're gonna have to forgive me because it's very, very hot, but I don't want to just taste it, I want to eat it. So let me tell you how I top this chowder. I like to top it with pepitas. Pumpkin seeds? Go figure, right? Pepitas, seeds that come from a pumpkin. We're talking pumpkin corn chowder. So I like to top it with that. And I have a problem with cheese. I kind of need it in my life all the time. So I'm also gonna top it with some grated cheddar cheese, sharp cheddar cheese. That's just who I am. You don't need to do this if you don't want to, but you can put it out for everybody else. And then I like to side everything when it comes to a chowder with something. So you can put your own crackers out. You can go old school and do oyster crackers. You could do a nice piece of toast. Today, because it's pumpkin corn chowder, I decided to do a side of cornbread with a little butter on top. I don't know, stuff just comes to my head. I don't know why, but let me go in here because I need to taste this. Here we go. I'll let you know what it tastes like as best I can. It's really, really, really hot. Look at the steam. Oh my gosh. I don't want to be rude and keep eating, but that silkiness of that pumpkin and that crunchiness of the corn, and then the extra creaminess that comes from obviously the juicy potatoes, and a little bit of crunch on top from those pepitas. If you have them, they're a good touch. I'm telling you, we all get together more often during the holiday season. So get in the kitchen and make this. Have fun making this delicious, absolutely delicious and heartwarming pumpkin corn chowder. Till I see you next time, thank you for supporting my YouTube channel, Court of Kitchen. Your likes, shares, and comments make me very happy. So keep them coming, and I will continue to share with you creative recipes. Remember to subscribe if you haven't already. Please do. And remember, hit the bell icon. And until I see you again next, know I'm always sending hugs.